Okay, on the bench today, Kenwood KR 6600. Now this one, I know what's wrong with it. This is one of the 402 vinyl kind of shop receivers that we, there are about 10 receivers hooked up at any one time. And what I like to do is rotate, when I'm kind of farting around the shop down there, I rotate receivers in and out, because sometimes they'll sit for a couple of months and I want to just make sure that they're good. So I plugged this one in. It ran fine for a while, and then it started to develop some intermittent scratchiness. And basically what's going on with this is the selector knob and the tape source knob. These need to be cleaned. So I think this has a really cool display. One of the first receivers that I repaired was a Kenwood KR 6600, just like this. I gave it to a family member. Funny story about that, I put an ad out on Craigslist saying, hey, if you've got vintage gear, let me know, I might buy it from you. So I bought it from an individual, and when I got it, something was rolling around on the inside. So I opened the case up and there was some paraphernalia in there. So luckily it was glass, and it didn't short anything out. I didn't turn it on until I opened it up. But these are really cool looking. Really, really nice display on these. Probably one of my favorite Kenwood receivers. I'm not a real big Kenwood fan, but it's a really nice looking receiver. So basically all I'm going to do with this is I'm going to get to those two controls and clean them, but I want to show you just how difficult it can be to get to things like that, because especially on this receiver, because this has a very unique design. To get to this, just like most fully encased cabinets, right, I've got to remove screws. Got 4 of them here. What I normally do is remove the screws with this upside down and then slide it out. If the receiver has a metal case on the inside, you could do that. On this one though, it's all open at the top. So if you do that, you have to be really careful, because you've got the dial cord and components and all that stuff on the inside. So let me get this out of there, and then we'll look at cleaning the pots. All right, so here's where the pots are. So you probably really can't see this. Right, pots are up here in the front of the unit. But do you see this bar right here? So the pots are here, but the actual switch, right, the contacts are back here. And if you look at the design of the 6600, see if I can get this in a better position. There's this plastic shroud back here, but it requires some pretty significant disassembly to get to those contacts to clean them. And I've tried kind of the spray and pray, right? That's a kind of a military, well, it's a just ready, aim, fire, hope that you hit something kind of thing. So the trick is getting to a position where you can get to those contacts. And to make matters worse, the board is screwed into this plastic thing with some mounting screws. And I think it's been a while since I've worked on one of these. I think it's only 3, but I'm not really sure. But basically, like, it's almost impossible to get back to those without disassembling this. Right, so I can, it's really hard to show you this, I apologize for that. Like, I can loosen these screws that hold this to the chassis, like so. But because everything is wired to this, right, I can't really move it to get to anything. So, and then once you separate this, you've got to realign the knobs and the switches. It's such a crazy design. And again, it's been a while since I have been in one of these, so I believe I can just remove this. And get to where I can spray them down with some contact cleaner. There are more screws holding it into position. Oh no, those are... Yeah, I don't know, this is kind of a goofy design here. And I dropped a screw, naturally. And I did that, and that doesn't do anything for me. So, gosh, what a pain in the butt. Okay, well, I'm going to have to figure out how to best get to these. I got to find the screw that I dropped. Figure out a way to get some contact cleaner on those contacts. So I'm not going to bore you with me trying to figure this out. Just not a good design for as far as maintenance goes. Not a good design. So let me step away from recording this for a second, see what I can figure out. All right, 5 screws hold the board in position. Had to remove the jumpers from the back, and I can finally get to the controls, kind of, sort of. I can spray them. So the controls are these two. See that yellow right here? This thing right here, I got 2 of them. So yeah, man, that was kind of tricky. So I'm gonna spray these really good because I don't want to have to mess with this again. And the problem is now I've got to kind of get the shafts back to where they go. So I have to put it back together basically to turn the pots. I guess I could try to just line these up and work them that way. But hey, look, my phone's ringing. That's great. Alright, so got it all buttoned up. Apologize for that. We're in the middle of another winter storm, and my mom had to call and make sure I was stocked up on, you know, milk and bread and all that stuff. So I finished cleaning this as I was talking to her on the phone. So anyway, there's really not much to it. I was able to get a lot of contact cleaner down there, got it reassembled, the knobs are realigned, so it should be good now. And again, I tried to clean it before without disassembling it, and I got it to where it was okay for a little bit, but I knew I would have to take it apart to get it really clean. So anyway, I'm going to call this one done. So as always, if you like what you see, hit like, hit subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.